Hello everyone, in this video I want to talk about my top 5 best games of 2025. Originally I want to make this video top 10 games, but then I realized that I have almost nothing to say about other 5 games. So it is what it is. Hope you like this video and you will press something under it.
You're just a cheap knockoff. Oh no. I'm the upgrade.
At number 5, I'll put Ninja Gaiden 4. Okay, now about why I think that this game deserves to be on this list. Ninja Gaiden 4 is the perfect definition of 2000 action games, which I'm a huge fan of. This game has the badass emo boy who does cool stuff, girls with huge bazookas, some cool epic moments, story that is about you being super duper cool guy, a variety of somewhat challenging and well somewhat interesting bosses, and of course action. This game is pretty much almost non-stop action game for around 15 hours straight. I would say Ninja Gaiden and Hazan combat wise are on plus minus equal level. Yes, Yakumo doesn't have as diverse moveset as for example Dante from Devil May Cry 5, but he still has a very diverse moveset with high amount of combat variety. Combat system wise, this game is straight up amazing and it's just a fact. I never even once got bored while I was playing as Yakumo, but there are a few oopsie moments about this game. First of all, boss fight wise, this game, well, softly speaking, okay, not the best one. Among all bosses that I have fought, I would say there are only 3 good bosses. Others are either annoying or they can go fuck themselves. This game has close to zero enemy variety. I ironically think that Devil May Cry 3 has more enemy variety than this game. And my biggest complaint to this game is Ryu. Listen, I know that he's a very iconic character who is the face of Ninja Gaiden, and I am sure that in other games he is interesting to play as, but holy shit, in Ninja Gaiden 4 his missions are straight up the worst part of this game. While playing as Hayabusa, you have to kill the same missions and fight the same bosses that you already killed as Yakumo with zero changes. While playing as Ryu, there simply is nothing new. No new locations, no new real bosses, no new basic mobs and other stuff. And not only that, Hayabusa on his own also doesn't add any new gameplay. What I mean by that? Well, he in this game is a very castrated version of Yakumo. Like, I simply don't understand why he even is in this game. Moveset wise, he doesn't even have a fifth of Yakumo's moveset. And most importantly, he gameplay wise, objectively speaking, isn't that much different from Yakumo. The only difference between these two is that Ryu has fireballs, while Yakumo has 10 times more diverse moveset. Let's take for example Devil May Cry 4. In this game we have Dante and Nero as playable characters. These two games are very similar because while playing both of these games, you have to clear the same locations and fight the same mobs that you have already killed. Yes, but there is a huge difference between these two games. Dante and Nero have completely different playstyles. One is a charger with grab attacks, and other is a super duper mobile style switcher monster. In Ninja Gaiden 4, we have Yakumo and Pensioner Yakumo. Ooh, big difference. Also, I don't really like the difficulty of this game. On easy mode, you can just mash one button and no one will be able to do anything against you, while on hard difficulty, you are constantly getting either 2-shot or 1-shotted. Fuck it, even on hard difficulty, you also do just way too much damage to boss and basic mobs. You simply can't do long combo chain, simply because bosses and especially basic mobs die in your mid combo. There is just way too much damage, and the fights with bosses is basically both of you playing as a glass cannons, which is not really cool, because most fights end just unreasonably fast. You might think that I'm I'm way too negative about this game, but not really. This game has problems, a very big problems, but honestly, gameplay with Yakumo single-handedly carries this game. It's just so fun to play as Yakumo and completely destroy a whole army of enemies. Yakumo has 4, well, at least 5 styles, plus ultimate. They have completely different playstyle and purpose. You can, well, sometimes try to combine your weapons and do some cool looking wombo combos. You might say something like, wait, did you seriously put this game at number 5 simply because of its gameplay? And I will gladly say, fuck yes, baby. I had a huge amount of fun while I was playing as Yakumo, because the combat and action of this game is not good. But I won't put this game above, simply because of Ryu's missions, pretty lame bosses, boring nearly identical locations, below average story, and because there is objectively way too much damage.
But the kid is not my son. Woo! She says I am the one.
At number 4, I will choose Silksong. Silksong was my very first real 2D Metroidvania game, and honestly, this game really surprised me with how good it was. Oh, by the way, before I start, I want to say one very important thing. I have a full video about Silksong and also on upcoming 2 games. Each of them lasted around 30 minutes, and I want to make this video plus minus short one, so I won't spend much time on them. If you want in details what I think about each of this game, link to all these videos will be in description. And to watch this game for $20 fucking gives you at the very least 70-hour content, which is just insane for such a low price. This game has amazing art design. Despite the fact all enemies in this game are bugs, this game has absurdly high amount of different basic mobs. This game has good music, many locations that both visual and gameplay wise are completely different from each other, which gives you a new experience over and over, which is a very good thing. A very fun parkour because of your high base move speed and many useful tools. Interconnection and Metroidvania aspect of this game is also on a very high quality. Surprisingly deep combat system that gives this game a huge replay value, and it has some really good boss fights. For example, my favorite bosses are Carmelita, Widow, Last Judge, Dancers, and First Sinner. But despite all of this game's objectively good moments, this game also has many shitty moments. For example, absolutely beyond garbage boss runbacks that are just unjustifiably long. Every single gauntlet in this game can go fuck itself. Flying enemies in this game can unironically give you cancer with how annoying they are. Tools in this game are also very weird, because yellow tools are completely useless, while blue tools can completely change your approach to bosses and mobs. Yet for some dumb reason, there is only one class that can use more than 2 blue tools. This game also has completely garbage side quests that are literally, hey Hornet, give me 25 magical dildos and I will give you a flying skirt, or a delivery boy side quest that you must complete in order to update your weapons. Early game, because of 2 mask damage, is just unreasonably hard, simply because you until Act 2, realistically saying, have only 3 masks, which is just insane. 70% of bosses in this game, especially flying ones and summoners, are straight up garbage. Progress system is very strange, because in Act 1 you barely get anything new, in Act 2 you almost non-stop get update materials or new useful tools, while in Act 3 you got almost nothing new, outside of 1 or 2 new ability and pretty much a boss rush. But even though this game has objectively speaking many bad moments, I never even once got bored while playing this game. Yeah, I was tilted way too often, but unlike Wu Chang, which I dropped in mid-game, I kept going in Silksong because this game, especially for its price, is a very good game, who I finished fully and 100% enjoyed, and I think that is more than enough to add this game on this list.
Tell me when I'm gonna live again. Tell me when this fear will end. Tell me when I'm gonna feel inside. Tell me when I feel alive.
Bronze medal goes to third berserker Khazan. Just like Will Silksong, I have full video about this game, so I won't spend a lot of time here. The reason why Khazan is so high comes down to two very important moments. First of all, Khazan is the first real Souls-like game with new interesting combat system, and not just non-stop parry or dodge spam simulator, just to hit bosses once or twice and then repeat this until a boss dies. In a Souls game, you finally have a skill tree that allows to use new moves over and over. Yes, in this game you have only 3 weapons, but honestly, because of so many different skills that you can get both from sets and skill trees, each weapon unironically has more combat diversity than something like Elden Ring. Secondly, bosses in this game are very good. I will say this much. Among all games that were released this year, Khazan has the best boss fights, and it's not even slightly close. Each of these bosses have a very diverse and interesting moveset, especially Ozma, who has just anomaly high amount of moves. I've never, ever in my life have seen a boss with such a diverse moveset. All these bosses, especially Riz and Ozma, are extremely challenging bosses who will wipe the floor with you without the smallest problem. Well, at least on a hard difficulty. Yeah, I know that many people complain about the boss having way too much HP, but that's not true at all. Let me show you some cool clips.
Holy! Look at all this damage!
Yes, even though I somehow managed to fight Ozma for 9 minutes straight, which was very strange, but honestly, I didn't really mind a lot. I like endurance fights. I like when both you and the bosses are whooping the shit out of each other almost non-stop. Bosses of this game have a very diverse moveset, and you also have a very diverse moveset, which means that during a boss fight, you are doing many different things, and not just roll, R1, jump, repeat this for 3 minutes straight. This game's combat core mechanic is that you should use absolutely everything that you have. If you won't do that, you won't do shit against the bosses. Also, if bosses didn't have that much HP, those fights would be as quick as Ninja Gaiden 4 bosses, and instead of wow, that was such an intense and cool fight, you would say, oh shit, he already died. Okay, I guess. Gameplay and boss fight wise, this game is straight up top tier, but there are a few oopsie moments. This game has completely garbage side quest in which you clear a location that you already cleared, but from the other direction, in which you will fight basic people with insane HP bar, or a reused main boss with small moveset adjustment. This game stole a lot of things from Neo. This game has, well, okay at the very best story, and besides 2 or 3 themes, very weak music. But its gameplay and especially its amazing boss fights are enough to put this game at number 3 spot. At number 2, I'll put Expedition 33. Just like with Silksong and Khazan, I have a full video, so I'll quickly speedrun it. Okay, so just so you know, I'm a huge turn-based games hater. I unironically think that turn-based games are even less quality games than most mobile games. For me, 99% of all turn-based games are super duper boring to play. But I really like Expedition 33, and there are many reasons for that. First of all, this game visually looks fantastic. And I'm not just talking about graphic, I'm talking about the art style of this game. It's very memorable, beautiful and cool. Also, during some boss fights, there are many very cool and very beautiful moments. For example, the most memorable moment for me was a fight with Paintress, in which she split space in 2, and from that some projectiles hit you. That looked so cool. When I saw this for the first time, my jaw dropped, and then I died. Speaking of boss fights, this game also has has a few really good bosses. Yeah, they aren't on Hazan or Ninja Gaiden level, but for a turn-based game standards, they are holy shit 10 out of 10 bosses. For example, the ones that I liked the most were Renoir, Clea, Alicia, Paintress, Mask, Lamp Master if we ignore his one-shot holy sword, and of course Dualist, who is my favorite boss of this game, because come on, it's Pontyville with Chelem. How could you not like him? Music-wise, this game is just 11 out of 10. I honestly think that this game, if not overshadow Dark Souls 3 and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, is at least no worse than them. Nearly every single musical line in this game is just amazing. There are so many amazing tracks in this game, it's just not even funny. Dualist, Renoir, Simon, Siren, Gobulu, and of course Lumiere. Even if this game won't win a Game of the Year award, this game should 100% win a reward for the best music. If not, well, I have no words to say.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now and give somebody else a piece of that oxygen and ozone layer that's covered up so that we can breathe inside this blue trapped bubble.
Also, story-wise, this game was surprisingly very good. It has some very unexpected twists and a few interesting characters. Personally, my favorite characters in this game is Verso, both gameplay and story-wise. Yeah, this game has objectively very dumb moments story-wise. For example, the death of Gustav was very dumb, and let's say how it is a very forced event just to give Miles some personal growth, character development, okay? And also, I didn't really like the fact every single character in this game besides Miles, Real Renoir, and Clea are literally a Miles family sick fanfic. But as a whole, this game story-wise is probably the best game of this year. And finally, let's talk about combat system of this game. The thing that I like the most about this game's combat is that instead of making a generic dumb one-button mashing turn-based game, they give this game a real-time combat. So once you finish your move, boss and basic mobs also do their moves, and instead of, well, simply watching how they're beating the shit out of your characters, you can do dodge and try to safely avoid their damage, or you can try to parry them, and if you parry all hits, you can counter hit them and do damage. And I think that this was the best decision that they could make. Instead of you using YouTube tutorials and building galaxy fucker amulets and using the most broken builds, aka one-shot gamage, this game is not just about numbers, it's also about your skill. If you want to dodge bosses' hits, you will die no matter what build you use. So yeah, in order to make a turn-based game interesting gameplay-wise, they made a game that no longer is a turn-based game, which is funny. Again, I have a full video about this game, but in 2 words, this game is just fun to play. Yeah, there are a few dumb moments such as Act 3, a bit broken balance, Gustav's death, Simon, and very dumb open world, but you don't really give a shit about them. You simply ignore all these game's problems, even Simon, and enjoy this game with how high quality this game is. Okay, does this game deserve to win a Game of the Year award? Yes. Is this game amazing? Yes. Is the voice actress of Miles retarded? Yes. Is this game objectively the best game of 2025? Yes. Then you might ask, why is this game on its second place? Well, this is my video and I'll put games however I want. My video, my rules. And even though many of you won't agree with it, at number 1 spot I will put Assassin's Creed Shadow. This game is just 11 out of 10, just bravissimo. This game is absolute cinema. While playing this game, I was laughing so hard you have no idea. I was laughing so hard that sometimes I couldn't breathe properly. Oh my god! Okay, all jokes aside, the best game in 2025 for me was Split Fiction. Yeah, I know that this game, objectively speaking, doesn't deserve to be Highland Expedition, but you have no idea how much I enjoyed while playing this game. I and my sister were laughing so hard while playing this game. This game was straight up amazing experience for both of us. In this game there are many different missions that give you different experience. Sometimes you are playing budget cyberpunk, sometimes you are transformed into a different animal, sometimes you are in cosmos, sometimes you are riding a car, sometimes you are flying on a plane, Sometimes you slay dragon while riding one, and many more different missions. Yeah, the story of this game is shitty, characters are worthless, music is meh, locations are twice hardless to even It Takes Two. Yes, I know that, but while playing this game, I was laughing my ass off. And I think that this is the most important part of any game. Sometimes games shouldn't be about deep characters, sweaty bosses, or amazing super duper realistic 60k graphic. Games should be about you having fun. And when it comes to that, in 2025, no other game gave me as much fun and pleasant feeling as Split Fiction. If you have someone next to you while playing this game, you will have at least 13 hours of non-stop different missions, on which both you and your partner fuck up and blame each other 24/7. This game for me was one of the best experiences in gaming media, and this is the main reason why I put it number 1. Okay, before I end, I want to say my predictions about which game will win in which category. Game of the Year award: Expedition. Best art direction: Silksong. Music: Expedition. Best narrative: Kingdom Come. Best adventure: Silksong. Best indie game: Expedition. Role playing: Expedition. Best action game: Ninja Gaiden 4. Best innovation in accessibility. Best innovation in accessibility: Mia Khalifa. Best family game: Split Fiction. Well, that's pretty much what I want to say. Type what you think about my video. If you like it, press something under it. With this, I will say bye bye to you, and I will see you next time.